So have this drone. It's an Evo, and been practicing with it. This is still my first fourth time flying it, really. Fourth session flying it, at least. So took it out to the roadside here in Arizona, and took it up into the sky during sunset on Thursday afternoon. And you can see practice and getting pretty good at flying the platform around, I guess is the way I would describe it. I can move the platform, the drone itself, in space where I like it to be. And I have a pretty good ability at this point to keep the camera side of it, or I'm calling it the face, pointed at whatever it is I'm interested in keeping it focused on. And I'm not using any of the locking frame type of software or anything. I'm just flying it in such a way that I'm keeping the camera end oriented towards the subject that I'd like to film. My issue technically is that the phone I'm using isn't, I think it's the phone I'm using isn't able to keep up with the real time vision or version of what the camera is showing. So I'm not able to fly it. Is that called first person? I'm not able to fly it in that mode. So I just have to watch where it's going and keep an eye. Because I am not seeing through the camera of the drone itself, I have not yet mastered what the drone is looking at. So that's why I say I can move the drone to where I want it to be, but I'm still learning how to then tell the drone what to focus on. So once you get the flying platform, the drone itself, into position somewhere, either in a moving trajectory or whatever, like a moving pattern, or just in space somewhere, then you can move the camera on its gimbal. So the camera on the drone has a separate servos, so it can move up and down from where it is. And if you take that drone up in the air, for example, with this version, you can see that the gimbal is skewed. It's kind of tilted. That's because I keep crashing the thing, I think. So it's probably like jammed up or something, and that's why in the picture here you can see that it's not horizontal. I don't think it's the drone flying wrong. I think it is the camera is not correctly going back to zero, or it needs to be calibrated or something. So what we're looking at here is what the drone's seeing in the small picture versus what my phone is seeing as I film the whole thing here. And again, how the platform will basically stay where you put it. You tell it whatever height you want it to be by just wiggling it up and down. You wiggle it left and right, and then once you've wiggled it left and right, you can kind of turn it to face, in a circle, whatever direction, east, west, so you can move it to the left or right or up and down, but you can also rotate the drone around. And once you've got it rotated in the direction you want, like this, towards the sun, you have to then make sure that the gimbal is either pointed straight forward or down or potentially up. So here's some crashes. It's always nice to have a couple of crashes thrown in here for good measure. I definitely smashed this thing up more than once, and kept hitting it into trees and into the van, and then getting it out of sight and pulling it the wrong way on the joystick, and then smashing it again. But otherwise, it's very durable. It's definitely had numerous wrecks at this point. There's pebbles and rocks and stuff falling out of it because they all got scooped up every time it crashes into the rocks and stuff. But during this outing, this session, which was in a couple of different spots, you could probably tell that some of these spots are closer than others, and are with this sign in front of it, and some of them aren't. I'm trying to figure out what that noise is. Here it is. And so I moved down the road a little bit and filmed again at a different location, and I was able to figure out that I could land on top of that van down there. So wherever I'm going, I've got this giant van that is a big, clean, non-cluttered surface that I could use as an aircraft carrier, basically. So before the batteries completely wore out for this fourth flight session, we figured out it works. You can take off and then land even with one hand on the top of the van. Actually, I think it'll work out pretty good because I can set the controller down like this and do the calibration stuff real easy. And then there's this fail-safe or something where if the thing decides it's about to run out of battery, it'll take whatever battery it's got left to go back where it came from. So it's going to try to go back to the top of the van. So that's pretty good. All right, let us know what you think. And if you've got ideas, tips, tricks, or suggestions for the flying the drone, definitely interested in it. Thanks for watching. GearWebsites.com is your source for firearms-based playing cards and books. We also have mugs, shirts, and posters with designs that we've made live. Of course, we have patches. Every Friday is Free Patch Friday. We appreciate your support. Thank you for shopping at GearWebsites.com.